Right, believe this is a hi there, and this is a review for Soul Calibur Broken Destiny on the PSP. Believe it or not, I actually reviewed this once but had to delete the reviews. It went over 10 minutes. I had that much to say on the game, so I'm now going to very quickly try and summarise the game and then go into some gameplay and show you the game in action, show you the sound as well. Right, okay, let's be quick here, but get all major points in. You've got all your characters, as you can see. The character I've been using in Soul Calibur for years. I own Soul Calibur 1 on the cast, Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. Best Soul Calibur I've played, and it's one of the pick-up titles for the GameCube. And Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2, not as good, but it's still a damn good title to be had there. Don't have a next-gen console apart from a Wii, and so haven't played Soul Calibur 4. Right, you've got all your regular characters. You've got a custom character mode, which I will go into in more detail later, and you've got new characters. You've got Kratos from God of War, who kicks ass and is a great addition, and you have Dampier, a new character, which I just think, well, I think is pretty lame, but you've got tons of great characters besides. And I know Dampier hasn't really been criticised in other reviews I've seen, but he's just not to my liking. Anyway, mode-wise, you have this game. This game does not have an arcade mode or a story mode. Now, I was very careful and spent a lot of time playing this before I reviewed it. I pondered if I'd maybe been a little bit too lenient on the following games after reviewing them: the DS version of Mortal Kombat and the VC version, the version I've played of Samurai Showdown, due to their high difficulty levels. And I'm a veteran player of fighting games. I stand by those reviews, but I often think, could I have been a little bit too lenient on them. However, this game kicks ass, and I will highly recommend it. I do not regret buying it, and I regularly pick up the PSP and play this, and it's well worth buying. Now you've got lots. You do have modes, and you can play. You've got, this is the quick match mode. You pick your character, you go into quick match mode, you see a list of computer players, and they have a win-loss record. So you can go and pick your character. I've picked a really easy one there because it's hard to review and play at the same time, and play a quick match mode. You'll either play a computer character playing one of the regular characters, or a character like this one, who is created by someone at Namco from the character creation mode, which is brilliant, but I will get to that later. You also have a trials mode, which I will show you now. Actually, I will just finish this battle, try and show some skills off. Crack. Well, maybe one more round. You have a trials mode. Now I'll show you trials mode, and that's probably where you're going to spend most of your time, apart from quick match mode. Just briefly, there is a mode where you go and with some sort of flimsy story. Damn. Ring outs now are done. If you do a charging move, unlike in previous games where the character would stop and not go out of the ring, you'd have to be ringed up by the other character. They are now done. You can now ring outs now can happen if you charge and charge out the ring. It seems like a stupid idea to me, but just as a word. But the gameplay is still. I'll summarise the gameplay soon. But the gameplay is still pretty much on the ball and wicked, basically. Right, you've got trial modes. Basically, trial of attack, where when you attack, the objective is to attack and to keep going through 5 stages and to build up a score through attacks. Trial of defense, where you get more score from attacking after defending another player's mode, another player's attacks even, and endless trial, where you get attacks from let's see, Kratos in action, where you get it, where it's trial of attack but just endless, and you need to see how far you can get and get a nice big high score. Right then, Kratos is here we have Kratos. Now you see at the bottom there, base bit here. Yep, that's the large string numbers. That has a percentage sign beside it. Starts at 100%. Every time it's a score multiplier. Every time that you hit a character, hit the enemy, hit the other player, you get a multiplier that it goes up. But every time that you miss, they hit you, then it will go back down a bit. And you can get this thing up way high, like I've got over 1000% before. However, lose a round and it goes back down to 100, get hit, and it's going to go down a bit and a bit and a bit every time. Hit back, move back to get that thing going back up again, or don't get hit and keep hitting them. And that is so I don't know if I mentioned it, but there's a story mode where you do like what's called the gauntlet, where you do where you go through some sort of little story, which isn't based directly on any of the characters, and do a little move per mission. One move per mission, takes about 2 seconds a mission to continue. Kind of alright, but a bit weak. Right then, that's it in a nutshell. 4 minutes left. Let's summarise. Great graphics. We're talking slightly less impressive. We're talking, you know, you can tell there's a tiny few less polygons, but it still looks amazing on the screen than say the consoles that of the same power that had Soul Caliburs on them. It doesn't look quite as good as the PS2 Soul Calibur 3, or certainly not as good than than Soul Calibur 2 on the GameCube. You can, you know, see that Astaroth's head, for example, is formed roundly by polygons. The polygon count is lower, the head looks less rounded. It's there, you can see it, but it's a minor niggle. The backgrounds look wonderful, but they are less going on them than Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2. And I wonder why, when a PSP is supposed to be as powerful as a PS2. But minor niggles, it looks great. The gameplay, spot on perfect. And as for the sound, well, I'll put this. The sound is just spot on. It's Soul Calibur sound, all the sound effects, all the voices and all the music, all that classical, grandiose Soul Calibur music is there and is perfectly converted. I'll play a quick match, I'll show you the sound in action, and finally quickly the creation mode. Great. Whoever you create will have to use a standard weapon, so therefore you're really just using a different shell. And say like you create like a character, can be male or female, with a big hammer, it's Astaroth basically, but the customization is great. You've got tons of costumes, tons of haircuts, and you can alter everything in its colour. So I mean, you can end up with something that looks totally unique but fitting in the Soul Calibur universe. Isn't that adaptable that it's going to be, you know, looks? You can't create something from another medium in there, but you still can create something that looks damn cool and looks good in this, and fits within the Soul Calibur universe. Let's hear some of that sound for the last minute or so in the gameplay in action. This game, I give it 8.5, nearly 9 out of 10. Definitely worth picking up, a top PSP title. Let's see the game in action. Oh, here's.
Battle 2. Fight! Time to die! Benevolence!
Well, nearly 10 minutes on the clock, so hope you enjoyed the review. Over and out.